For this video, I'm going to show how to create a drawing file for exercise 4. But the other thing in this video is I did not draw this in the proper orientation just so that we could see the difficulties that causes. So what I'm going to do again is just go to New, Drawing, say OK, A Drawing, and OK. Now the first thing that you should notice is that the isometric's wrong, the front's wrong, everything's wrong. So what I need to do is I need to delete the views that exist. So there's all of my views gone, and now I need to recreate my views. So I'll come up here and click General, and then left click a location to place my view. And I'm gonna try my top because the top was the correct view for my front view but not for the top view. So the top is now going to be the view that I'm going to use for my front view. So I'll go ahead and close that and then do a projected view here for my top, and then a projected view here for my right. Now the thing that is never going to come out right if the orientation is not correct is the general view that we've been placing up here for the isometric. And if you look, this isometric is not correct. If I come over here and change it to isometric, it's still not in the proper location. And user defined, at this point I can try to manipulate angles. 30 and 30 is where the isometric normally comes from. So I can try a -30 here and a -30 here since things aren't necessarily in the right orientation. But it seems that no matter what I put in here for the user defined, it's not necessarily coming up with the exact view that I need. So I can select different views and stuff just to see what it's giving me as far as user defined. And if I come to the top view, which is the one that I had started with, if I now change my X angle to 30 and my Y angle to 30, since it's user defined, it can't recalculate that view with these angles in. So the thing of it is I'm not going to be able to actually get the type of view that I'm looking for based on what I have here. And for the purposes of the first assignments that we've done, it's not going to be a really big deal. But later on down the road, when we're getting to things that are a little bit more complicated, you're going to want to make sure that your views are lined up properly so that you can avoid that problem altogether. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and dimension this particular drawing. This one is pretty basic. There's not anything in here to throw you off. So here we've got the 2.5, the 0.63, and come over here and get the 1.63. The overall is 3.5. This segment right here is 1.25. This segment right here, which is going to end up looking really bad on here, so instead of doing that, I'm going to have it set up to be drawn down a little bit further. I accidentally drew another dimension in there that I need to get rid of. So we'll delete that, and I will pull this down to here. That's not necessarily going to be the most preferred way to do it, but for the purposes of this week, when we're just getting used to actually creating the drawings, it's not going to be that big of a deal. So I know that I need to, I'm going to go ahead and delete this one anyway, because there is an easier place that I can put that, and that's going to be between here and here. That'll give me the 1, and it'll be a little bit cleaner, and that gives me a place that I can dimension my 0.5 and my 1.75 up here. So with those in place, I'm now going to move this over here a little bit just so that none of the lines are actually hitting. I've got all the dimensions in for this feature. This feature looks like I've got pretty much everything that I need for this particular assignment. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Publish, PDF, export, save it right out to my desktop, and I'm left with my PDF for this assignment.